Munoz, founder of StartRankingNow, to discuss content marketing strategies that drive traffic and sales. Just a quick introduction, Nicole speaks frequently about SEO and creating compelling content. One of her biggest claims to fame and a skill that she now shares with her clients and with us today was an ability to maintain the #1 spot for over 7 years for an extremely competitive keyword in Google Analytics and or Google search, excuse me. And so obviously Nicole has a lot of valuable information to share with us today. And just a little note, as we expect our topics will go about 40 minutes, followed by a question and answer period. But at any time during the presentation that you have questions, please use the question submittal through GoToWebinar to submit them, and I'll review them and bring them to Nicole's attention as we work through the presentation. And before we get started, just to tell you a little bit about Cadence 9 and Start Ranking Now. Cadence 9 is a technology platform to distribute your content across unlimited social media and content marketing channels. And Start Ranking Now is a digital agency that's dedicated to helping clients develop a content plan and even generate content and maintain it for you if you need assistance with that ongoing content creation. So Nicole will be sharing these content ideas and strategies that have worked for her clients, and I'll be chiming in with examples of how our technology can facilitate those successes. And so with that, I think Nicole's on the line here with us, and I'll have Nicole just jump in and get started.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that introduction. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave you open actually in case you wanted to jump in and interrupt me.
Sure.
But if we get any feedback, I'll mute you and then I'll have to mute and unmute.
Okay.
All right, so welcome everybody. As Jennifer said, today we're going to be talking about some of the simple ways to develop a content marketing strategy. Just a little bit about how this came about. Jennifer and I met at Online Marketing Summit Santa Clara, where she was at a booth sharing about Cadence 9, and I just thought, wow, this software is absolutely amazing. This is exactly what my clients need. And as we were talking, she mentioned to me how one of the challenges that their clients have is they're not always sure about what content to write about. And I thought, well, that's something that I do really well. So we decided to get together this presentation, and so that I could help her clients with developing new content, and that so that I could also introduce my clients to Cadence 9 software as being a solution for being able to distribute content easily and promote that content. So that's a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing here today. I always do a sound check, even though we've already been talking for 5 minutes. Can everyone just go ahead in the question box area, just say, hi, I can hear you great, I can hear you fine. And so also so we know that you know where the question box area is. Go ahead and type in the question box area, yes, hi, good morning, hello. That would be great. Perfect. Awesome. All right, so let's get started. All right, well, this is a little bit about me and Start Ranking Now. As Jennifer said, I'm the founder and CEO of Start Ranking Now, and my claim to fame was I was ranked #1 for the word camping gear for over 7 years for my camping website, which is still in existence today. We are based in Carlsbad, California, and I've done a lot of cool stuff, and the thing I'm most proud of right now is I've just published a series of 10 books and DVDs called the 7-Figure Marketing Blueprint, and you're going to be hearing more about that later. But that is just that's what I'm most excited about right now. All right,
one request to speak up a little bit more in the question.
Sure, thank you. I'll try to get closer here. All right, so why I do what I do, this is my family. This is what people most know me about or remember me about, is I'm actually a mom of 7 amazing children. This picture is a little old. The baby is now 2 years old. And we are also run the business from the country of Mexico, where I serve with my husband as missionaries. We do mission work down there. And so this is the freedom that the internet has allowed. This is something that, has been impossible to previous generations, but it's something that we can embrace with, we can work from home, and that home can be anywhere in the world. And you can live your dream, whether that dream is to travel or whether that dream is to do charity work. But the internet in this age allows us to do that. So we're just glad to be able to fulfill our life's purpose down there in Mexico. All right, as Jennifer said, this is going to be pretty quick. We only have 45 minutes, but don't worry, you're going to get all the slides. And if we were in a live event, everyone would go, "Yes." All right, if you do have questions, go ahead and type them into the question box, and Jennifer's going to be facilitating that. So if at any time at all you have a question or you have a comment, just put that into the question box area immediately before you forget, and we will try to answer all of your questions today. All right, let's get started. This is one of my favorite pictures. All right. First off, I want to talk to you. A lot of you are talking about, okay, well, I'm here to learn about content, but I want to address first off, your blog is your hub. This is a concept that I picked up actually at the Online Marketing Summit that I attended. One of the speakers there was saying, your blog is your hub. And what does that mean? Well, a lot of times we're producing in our businesses, we're producing different pieces of content, and that content, like for example, you might create a PowerPoint presentation, and that PowerPoint presentation you might use at one time to speak and to present to one company. But that what you really need to be thinking about is start to be thinking that my blog is my hub, which means all the content that I create, the very first place that I need to be putting that is onto my blog. Another example is testimonials. If you haven't gotten testimonials from clients before, there's a really easy way to get them. Jennifer, do you know what that is?
Ask them.
Absolutely. You have to ask for them. So a lot of times people go, well, I don't have testimonials yet. Well, just ask. I was just doing this last night. I was, maybe I messaged some of you guys here on the webinar even. I was messaging people saying, hey, you guys heard me speak at Online Marketing Summit. Would you mind providing a testimonial for me so that I can put that on my website?
Well, and one more tip that we have found, again, it's not necessarily the technology, but really putting together sort of sentence starters. We've done between 7 to 10 and asked them to give a testimonial that includes 2 or 3 of those sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Just the best thing about Nicole Munoz is, or Start Ranking Now, something like that. That it just gives people a little start, and that has definitely helped, giving them sentence starters.
Yes, definitely. Having some examples. You could even write testimonials for people that are really busy, or people do this. Authors will do this if they're trying to get a book review for their book.
Right.
They might even write up the whole book review and send it and ask them to either approve it or edit it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some different ideas there. But the concept is that everything that we create, we need to start thinking of, can this go on my blog, and how can I put this on my blog? Because your blog needs to be your central hub for everything that we do in our business.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so all content goes on the blog first. PowerPoint presentations, if you create videos, ebooks, articles, white papers, pictures, brochures, audios, testimonials, photos of celebrities, charity projects, CEO news, press releases. So anything that we're doing, that we're creating that's actual content for our business, the very first place we need to do is put it on our blog. And just this one step alone is going to help you to think, okay, I've created this content, and you might even have, if you just look at your hard drive, you might come up with a lot of material that you've created over the last 6 months. It's just sitting there that could be repurposed, that could just be edited a little bit and put onto the blog.
Right.
All right, so
Yeah.
the job of your blog is to capture leads. So first thing, we need to make sure we're putting all of our content onto our blog that we have. And the second thing is we need to make sure that we have a mechanism to capture leads on our blog. Because how do we know if our blog has got a lot of comments on it, or if our blog has got a lot of traffic? That's okay. But the job of our blog is to actually capture the leads so that we can follow up with those prospects and offer them our products or services in the future down the road. So those are the two first things I wanted to discuss. First, make sure all your content goes on your blog, and second, make sure you're actually capturing the leads on your blog. All right, so I wanted to start off this presentation with a story. I don't know. Have you heard of Marcus Sheridan, Jennifer?
Market what? I'm sorry?
Marcus Sheridan. He's the
Oh,
CEO.
Marcus Sheridan. I have not.
He's the CEO of River Pools and Spas, and he's actually on this. He speaks now at a lot of marketing events. Well, the story of Marcus Sheridan was that in 2005, he had some really bad news. He found out that one of his partners had embezzled over $200,000 from his company.
Mm.
And not only that, but the IRS had tax liens against his house and his other partners' houses. That was pretty bad news. But he didn't file bankruptcy. He didn't give up. He, after he just kept at it, and from 2005 to 2008, he began to claw himself out of that humongous burden of debt, and was just about ready to overcome that horrible situation. When in 2008, what happened? The
What happened?
economy crashed.
Yes.
So he was, after struggling for 3 entire years, the economy crashed in 2008. And he didn't let that stop him. But in March of 2009, he began to learn about what we're talking about today, and that's blogging. And as he began to blog, he started to blog in March of 2009. By November of 2009, most of his competitors were out of business because of
Mm.
the economy, and or it was just too expensive to maintain their businesses. But he was ready to finish off the year successfully. And by September of 2010, Marcus Sheridan had reduced his annual marketing budget from $250,000 a year. So if we think about that for a second, they were spending $250,000 a year in marketing their business. And by September of 2010, they had reduced that budget all the way down to $18,000 a year.
Wow, that's more than significant.
Yeah, that's more than significant. And he attributes this completely to the power of blogging. And he has a very specific way of how he was doing his blogging. Would you like to know what that is?
Absolutely.
Yeah. He anticipated his clients' questions and he answered them on his blog.
Right. That's
Isn't
great.
that, I
That
mean,
we highly, highly recommend that to our clients.
yeah, that sometimes we just don't see the obvious. So this is the number one strategy that he used to reduce his marketing budget from $250,000 a year to $18,000 a year of annual budget, and it was only by blogging. And the way that he did his blogging was he just anticipated his customers' questions and answered them on his blog. So you can see these examples here. Why choose fiberglass over concrete? So um, these are just questions that people would be asking him, and these whatever questions he got coming in, those became blog posts for him. So if you don't get anything else out of today's webinar,
Yeah,
take
that's
this one
valuable.
strategy. Yep. All right, so where can we find questions? Well, customer service department is a good place to find questions. Talk to your customer service department and ask them to document for you what questions people are asking them on the phone. I had a client one time who said, well, I don't think they're actually going to do this. I think that they're too busy, or I've asked them to do this and they didn't want to do it. So what we did is we put together an incentive plan where the customer service department people, you had 3 people that were answering the phones all the time. They actually were going to get bonuses for turning in the most number of questions each month. So guess what? They started turning in their questions.
Of course, of course.
So you just have to figure out a unique way to get your customer service department on board. But that is a way how you can get your customer service team to actually talk to your marketing team. Email. So that's another one. Your customer service people, maybe they're getting a lot of emails and they're having to answer the same questions over and over again. So it would be better if if you were able to teach your customer service department to actually answer those emails privately, obviously not putting in the customer information, but answering those emails on your blog post. And then when they
Yes.
send the email, they could just send a link to the answer.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there's another way you can get lots of new content for your website. Ask your team if you have people that are interacting with clients. Ask them what questions are people asking you. And then you definitely want to be emailing your list, and you need to ask them, what is the single biggest frustration that you have in your business right now? And also, why did you choose us? What made you choose us? One of the problems that we have when we're working so close to our business is that we cannot unlearn the things that we've already learned. So we sometimes assume that people um, are making a decision based upon our experiences, but that's not always the case. Let me see if I can explain this a little bit better. So here's an example of a mobile pet salon. Anybody in your question box area, can you tell me why would somebody choose a mobile pet salon? Why would somebody want to use a mobile pet salon? If you could put your answers, what do you think in the question box area? Why would
You
you
mean why
hire?
would you use mobile versus a fixed brick and mortar?
Right,
Hmm.
right. To save time, convenience, saves time. What else? Any other answers? That is the number one reason that we think. But when they actually when there was a survey done for the customers of a mobile
Not to
pet
stress
salon,
out their pets, isn't it?
yep, it was to
Is it?
not stress out their pets.
Seriously,
Exactly.
I'm, yep, yep.
And when you think about it, you're like, oh, yeah, not to stress out the pets. But our
Hmm.
immediate response is to actually save time. So, what do you think we need to do with the marketing message?
It needs to be talking about don't stress out your pets for sure.
Exactly. The marketing message needs to change. So the only real way for us to be able to truly get into the minds of our market is to ask them, why did you choose us? Why are you working with us? What's your number one biggest frustration? And
Hmm.
ask them, and then use that as the headlines of your blog post, use that in your marketing message, and get more ideas for content generation that
And
way.
that's so much more personal. I mean, again, that's where we advocate the true, real quality content curation is from within your own organization and understanding your customer, not just sort of blanket statements like save time or convenience. Everyone says that. So definitely digging deeper is the way to go to get the quality content.
Right, because I mean, you could do use Google keyword tool to do keyword research,
Hmm.
but that's really not going to help you understand the mind of your target market, what's resonating with them
Right.
about why they made a decision to choose that company. All right. So blogging. So we've talked a little bit about, an introduction about how we can make sure we're communicating the right message to our audience. But we talked about the number one way for us to actually create content for our blog, which is by anticipating our clients' questions and answering them on our blog. Well, let's talk about a few examples of different types of blogging strategies. So first off, I have one of the questions I hear all the time is, well, what can I blog about? I only sell this product. And I always point them to Zappos. What does Zappos sell? Shoes. And they have the most amazing blog ever. They have tons of blogs, and they have 4 or 5 blog posts going out every single day with information that people will actually that's actually kind of interesting to read. So it doesn't matter what your product is. It's the challenge is just trying to figure out a way. Okay, what can I actually be producing content about? So Zappos is our example.
Hmm. Well,
Mhm.
and Neil, one of our attendees, has a comment that is correct. From our perspective, at least at Cadence 9, not all content needs to be solving problems for clients. Anticipating client questions doesn't always have to be about problems. It can be things that they're specifically attracted to or that they love or want more information about when you know the real target. So that's something he was sharing, that there's space for topical or humor, um, community kinds of topics as well.
Absolutely, and those are some of the things that we're going to be talking about right now, and definitely. So it doesn't have to be all about problem solving for clients, but sometimes when you're stuck with what do I write about,
Right.
that's the
A great place to
easiest.
start.
Yeah, it's a great place to start. So you're if you're, a lot of people go, well, why do I need a blog? I already have a website. Well, your website is kind of like your business card, but your blog is your personality. Your blog is how your customers and clients can get to know you and decide to choose to do business with you over somebody else. It's what can make you stand apart from the competition. So putting our personality into our blog is very important. And there's all different ways of doing this, but that's something to be aware of too. And you could have a corporate personality, you could have, if you're an individual service provider, there's different ways of doing this.
Right.
All right, so some examples here: product comparison posts. So in this example, if you have 6 different if you're selling physical products, you could do a product comparison post. Also, maybe if you have a service-based business, you could choose, compare your different types of packages that you have, but some type of a post that compares different products or services. All right. List posts. People love list posts. One of the things that I didn't mention so far was that your headline of your blog post is what's going to truly determine if your blog post gets read or not. So it's always very good if you can incorporate a number in the headline of your blog post. So in this example, 10 brides in their glamorous shoes. So people love to read, for some reason, they love list posts. So if you have a blog post with a number in it or a how-to, those are really good ideas for posts. So list posts, we have 10 brides in their glamorous shoes, and they're showing, they took a lot of this content from Pinterest. They went out and found different pictures there, and they got permission to use them here, and then they created a list post out of that. So what about you guys? Do you guys have any list posts that you could be creating? What are you thinking about right now? Can anyone think of any list post ideas for their target market? We got awesome. Lots of people on the call. So if you think of one, I'd love to hear your ideas and strategies here. Or what is your target? What is your
top
target
10
market?
problems or things like that? I know for us, for marketing teams, that's, we're constantly compiling that. What's trending now? What are the top, again, the questions shift in most businesses over time. Because once you start blogging the information and let's say a common customer service problem is now easily found, now there's a new top one. So, even again, it's not always about problem solving, but it's a great place to start for list posts too.
Right. All right. Well, we got one for a couple from my friend MJ. She has a firm that helps you make sure your WordPress website is secure so you don't get hacked. And so she has here 7 security tips for social media managers or 7 security tips for WordPress. Very good. And so list posts are always, and here's another comment, list posts are always great. It gives the reader solid takeaways. Absolutely. So list posts. Curated content from Pinterest. So our 8 favorite wedding nails from Pinterest. Again, they went to Pinterest. They found some awesome wedding nails pictures. They curated that content. They got permission from the people that posted the pictures onto Pinterest, and then they created a blog post out of it. Now, you want to make sure you're not just taking pictures from anywhere off of the internet. You definitely need to get permission, but there are advantages of using with permission other people's pictures, because what's going to happen is once you put their picture on on your website, what are they going to do? They're going to be like, oh, this is so awesome. This is so cool. Look at this blog. They put my picture on it, and they're going to go tell all their friends about it, and they're going to link to it.
Right.
So just make sure you get permission, and then once it does go live, tell them about it. But Pinterest is huge. If you're not on Pinterest now, definitely for 2013, make that your first goal is to get onto Pinterest, because it's the fastest growing social media network of all time. It has grown faster than Facebook, and that's huge when you think about it. Recipe lose weight posts. For some reason, Google likes recipe posts. So if you can work that into your into your blogs. Now it doesn't have to be about, maybe it doesn't have to be about food. Maybe you could talk about the recipe for success and
That's
create a
what I was
little
going
bit
to
of
say.
recipe about it.
Recipe for, we had a comment for, 5 reasons to have a blog associated to your website. So,
Mm-hmm.
recipe for blog success, definitely.
Yep. Okay. All right, what's trending posts? You mentioned this a little bit earlier, Jennifer, about how you guys talk about like what's current, what's trending, what are people talking about in with your specific niche, your specific industry, what's popular. And I didn't mention this here, but one of the ways that I stay on top of what's trending is I use a tool called Google Alerts. And with Google Alerts, I can actually set up an alert for a keyword so that anytime anybody publishes anything on the internet about that specific keyword and it gets indexed in Google, Google sends me an email and tells me about it.
Right.
And
And
so,
Google Discussions is also another way to type in a keyword and see what's current. There's a tag under, I want to say it's under more. Is it under
mhm.
more discussions? Anyways, if you just search Google Discussions, you'll find your way in for that and be able to find current content also.
I did not know that. I'm awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah, we have some clients that use it for curation ideas. Once they start building out what their content plan will be, and Google Discussions is a good one.
Okay, great. We're going to check that out today.
That's right.
All right, address a problem posts. And again, address a problem, you could do this with like we were doing before, just with question answers. But if you could actually create a short video to answer problems also, that's another way to do it. Just take out your camera, answer the question, post it onto YouTube, and then embed that YouTube video onto your website. Someone asked earlier, do we recommend YouTube for hosting videos? Absolutely, because YouTube is another search engine, and it's where all the traffic is.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely by putting your website, your videos up on YouTube, it's going to help you to get more traffic to your website. And there's some different ways of doing that on YouTube. For example, making sure again you have a good headline of your video, making sure you have keywords in the headline. Also in the description area of your video, making sure you put the URL of your website as the very first word of the description area so that people can click on that and go to your website. And then making sure you have it embeddable so you can actually just take that code and embed that video onto your website. So that's and also when you create a video, you can also have it transcribed. So in 1 minute, you can talk, say, I don't know how many words per minute people talk, 70? A
Depends on the
lot,
person.
yeah, a lot faster than most people can type. So you can get a lot more content published if you're just speaking out your tips and the answers and then have it transcribed and then have the content written down below that actual video. And so there's
Right.
different ways to repurpose and to create multiple pieces of content from just one idea. Client story posts. So this is really huge. This is a really common marketing strategy. For example, if you look in magazines, or a lot of times they'll have advertisements from, for example, like banks, and the banks will talk about they're not going to have an advertisement about come get a loan with us. Our loans are this interest rate. Our loans are so amazing. What they're going to do is they're going to tell you a story about how Mr. Small Business Owner got a loan from their company, and then they were able, because of that loan, they were able to expand and hire new staff, and now they're hugely a lot more successful. So any way that you can incorporate your client's story posts of how they've used your products, they've used your service, and because of that, now they are a lot more successful. So that and it's also it's free advertising for your client. It's also almost it's a case study and an example of what you can do for your clients and services for your clients also. All right, so can everyone think of at least one client story they can go and write a blog post up about?
At least one, definitely.
At least one, yes, at least one. So, I mean, that if you just do even like a client story post, if you put it on your marketing calendar and say, okay, on the 5th of every month, that's my client story day. And that's the day we're going to research and begin it. And it's going to be due maybe by the 15th. But have that as a goal that at least once a month we want to get out there a client story post. Personal story posts. So especially if you're a solo provider, a solopreneur, um, sharing your personal story, but even if sharing the stories of the CEOs, people love to hear and they love to feel like they have a direct connection with the company. Again, your blog is your personality, so this is the best way to do that. So if you can share your personal story and just talk about, you know, we're in this we're doing this biking competition, or we're doing this hiking thing as a team, or sharing about different things that are even personal are definitely good blog topics. How to video posts, we discussed this earlier a little bit, that people love to read how to post, how to do things. So if you can create a how to video and post it onto YouTube and then embed that onto your website, that's something that people are always searching for, of how to do things, how to use your product or services. Also creating demos of your of how to use your products or services, or how other people have used your products or services. Single product promotional posts. So if you have a new product, maybe you just launched a new package or you launched a new product. So having one post that just talks about all of the features and benefits of that one specific product. That would be called a single product promotional post. Tell your story post. So this is different than your personal story. In this example, the blog is rei.com, and what they've done is they have told the story of the brands that they carry. So they carry the Newton Running brand, and so they're talking about the story of how Newton Running came about. So if you evaluate, take a step back and evaluate, okay, we carry all of these different products, we carry these different brands. How can we spotlight this brand? And so you're borrowing their credibility and you're providing content that people will like to read.
And that they will want to socialize in their networks.
Yes, exactly. And then you can actually get the brands to promote you also that way. New product release posts. So if you have a new product, definitely make a blog post about it. A new service, maybe a new hire, a new staff member, anything that's new in your company. Historical posts. So this day in the history of our company. I hope we don't have any pictures like that, Jennifer, laying around.
Not that I'm going to share. That's for sure.
What's really big on Facebook right now with entrepreneurs is they're showing their ugly high school pictures.
Oh goodness.
I don't know why, but people love it. People are they're becoming viral of just looking at some of their favorite gurus' old pictures from when they were like 15 or 16 in high school. I think they say the only bad advertising is no advertising, right?
You know, I don't know. I read about Burger King's Facebook contest yesterday. I hadn't heard of that. Have you heard that?
No.
Oh, they had this big, terrible problem. They were Facebook shut them down because they were encouraging people that if they ditched 10 friends, they could have a free Whopper. And so, like over 200,000 people were dumped pretty instantaneously, and the contest was shut down. It's this big, this big problem. So, I don't know that that's always true. But so you got to be careful. You got to think it through. But
that is really funny. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I had not heard anything of it.
That's not bad publicity though for Burger King.
You know, it's kind of comical. It depends on what context you're looking at it in, and you know,
what did Burger King do wrong?
You know, it was more that I've forgotten exactly the article that I read was not real flattering. So again, you know, like you said, it still keeps people top of mind. Oh, that's what it was. The thing that they did wrong, I'm sorry, I do recall, was they had it was really an app outside of Facebook that was managing it. And when you ditched someone, it would notify them. And then the
Oh.
the the thing that they wanted people to do was if you were ditched, it said, okay, you got ditched, so send this person an angry gram. So it really was not promoting goodwill for the brand, and the way that it was going to be coming across ultimately.
Okay, yeah, I don't know how people sit in their little cubicle offices and come up with a strategy that complicated and that negative.
Yeah, yeah, and but again, somebody goes, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Let's post that. It's uh, you do
Well,
have
they were
to
definitely
use
trying to
common
do
sense.
negative publicity.
Right, right,
But I can see why Facebook wouldn't like that because they don't want people to leave their network. So,
right. They were getting them ditching 10 people at a time with no problem.
right, or have a negative experience with that. So,
Mhm.
definitely, definitely not.
Mhm.
That's funny. All right. Contest posts. So these are the good contest posts, not the ones that
That's
you're going to
the
be,
one. Yep.
not the ones where you're going to be deleting people from. So contest posts, grow your business with a break from American Express Open and Facebook. So if you can do some type of a joint venture contest post, what a lot of people do with their contest posts is they'll have a blog post on their website where they'll have maybe a free you can earn something for free. They'll have a drawing, and you can get entries into that drawing by liking, by retweeting, by commenting, by sharing. And then you can get more entries even sometimes by submitting the email addresses of your friends and telling them about the contest. So, but this is definitely a blog. This is a blog contest. A post that you can put on your blog. Also, for contest posts would be included, for example, doing giveaways and charity events, and also I'm trying to think of the right word here right now. Contest posts also more like a product review. There's a lot of people that will do the product reviews, and then
Mhm.
they will give those away at the end of the product reviews also.
Right.
All right, and some more interview posts. Interviews are huge because if you can interview your industry experts, or even your customers or your clients, or your other companies that are complementary to you, then you can post that content on there. What I like to do at live events, Jennifer, is I'll go and we'll go with my husband and we'll just interview everybody and we'll just ask them, so what inspired you to start your business, and tell
Mhm.
us your story. And we put that on our blog, and people, and they love it because they're being interviewed, and it's not really they didn't even use our services, but we're just helping promote them and helping share their story,
Mhm.
and giving other people ideas of how to be inspired of how they grew their businesses. So it doesn't always have to be, well, why would they do this? You just say, hey, can I interview you? You'll be surprised how many people will just say, sure.
Right.
Absolutely. Industry news and posts, how to step by step posts, customer testimonial posts. So all of these are different ideas that you can use for um, creating blog content. All right, so Jennifer, I think that we're ready for you to tell us a little bit more about Cadence 9.
Sure. It looks like our slides are a little bit different order here.
Oh,
As I introduced it, it's fine. It's fine. As I introduced at the beginning, Cadence 9 is actually the technology tool that helps put all of these ideas in motion, or we like to say, put your content to work. It's a platform that really any of these topics that are identified sort of become their own task or broadcast that is then managed with the technology. And so this slide is really about really what we hear from our clients as their primary goals. Uh, all of these things can be accomplished through good content, creating community around that content, or like you've discussed with the blog, even becoming the central place for lead generation. And so, these kinds of things are usually the objective, and centralized two-way communications, getting more consumer mind share or brand awareness, creating brand evangelists, and increasing that engagement with the public, expanding your network, all the things that you've been talking about these things help accomplish. So, as brands interact with brands, or a brand interacts with a smaller vendor that they work with, like the way you were showing the REI post and whatnot. So it all equals out to all of these benefits: better customer retention, strengthening motivation to buy. Like you said, the blog, we do find that our clients, that blog component is really what makes distinctions, gives a person who's investigating a company a reason to make that choice. Establishing as definitive experts in an area, and definitely to drive new leads and education, or instantly distributing calls to action. Again, that larger digital fingerprint is what we call it online, is going to give you that ability. Um, you know, One of the dangers with social media, or blogging, or anything, and where our clients find themselves, is they don't want to be involved in sort of these random acts of marketing. Just posting. So to Neil's question before, I'm sorry, I'm being asked to speak up. Is that better? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you fine, Jennifer.
Okay. Um, so really identifying the primary goals and how you're going to go about that content is hugely important. So I'm going to, let's see, scroll forward here for us.
Sure.
Can you push the slide forward, Nicole? I'm not sure why it's not letting me. There you go. So ultimately, our objective with Cadence 9 is really helping clients orchestrate the entire content marketing and social media lifecycle, so that you can plan your content, publish, manage engagement when there's comments, across unlimited channels. So if someone has a Facebook, a Twitter, a blog platform, Flickr, all the types of accounts, when there is engagement, Cadence 9 allows you to manage all of that from one interface as a technology, rather than having to log into these separate entities. Okay, next. And so primary tasks, this I wanted to address with the audience, largely because of some of the things that you had in your presentation. The idea of making your blog your hub. Most sort of competitive tools, I guess you could say, or things that are put out as social media marketing systems or management systems, really don't work with blogs in the way that Cadence 9 can. Not only can they not publish out to, let's say, 100 at a time, like our solution can, but they really don't even address those kinds of platforms. And we really, using some concepts of templates and creating broadcasts. Templates is more about a publishing path kind of template. So the same way that you're talking about making your blog your hub, our system facilitates making every other successive post that would happen. Let's say I want to post something to my blog, Twitter, Facebook, everything all at the same time. The blog post would be the central one, or designated in our system as what we would call a primary channel. And then the Twitter and Facebook posts would automatically create permalinks and really push everyone to that channel where you want to create that community or that engagement for capturing that lead. So, again, the idea of convenience of being able to review broadcasts and have records of that, get comprehensive reporting across all channels in one view, and doing that engagement monitoring and response from one tool. It's really what Cadence 9 is about. So I think that's probably my last slide on that, but feeds right into everything that you've been talking about, and how the blog should be central, but how that can be managed.
Yeah, I was able to log into the to Cadence, and it was pretty sophisticated. So if you guys are interested in talking to Jennifer more and getting a demo about what Cadence 9 can do for you guys, definitely contact her. This is their website. What's the URL, Jennifer?
It is www.cadence9.com.
Yeah, so www.cadence9.com. So go there, check it out, and Jennifer can schedule a demo with you and show you how their software works. But I was able to go do a demo with Jennifer and walk through it, and it's very, very, very cool. It's something that I think our clients should definitely be using to help them to leverage their work that they're doing, because that's part of the challenge is of being cost effective is leveraging your time, money, and resources. And Cadence 9
Right.
helps you to do that.
Right.
All right, so does this all really work? Well, absolutely. One of our coaching clients, Joseph Kerr, we helped him out, teaching him how to do all of his stuff for himself. And this is what he had to say. He said that they had a 347% increase from their old website to their new website. They've generated the income and the dreams that we wanted, and that they actually need to bring in more staff so they don't have to turn away clients. We have a huge audio testimonial from Joseph. He was so excited about growing his business from just implementing the things that we taught him how to do. And the question, of course, can I just hire you to do all this for me? Absolutely. StartRankingNow.com is our digital marketing agency. We can work with you to implement your content marketing, and we can even assist you with using the Cadence 9 platform to distribute your content. And we also have a do-it-yourself course. So if you're here thinking, oh, well, this is really great, but I'm not really ready to hire you yet, but I do want to learn more, you can go to sevenfiguremarketingblueprint.com, which is our do-it-yourself course that'll show you step by step how to do online marketing with blogging and some social media stuff and outsourcing, project management, strategy development, a whole bunch of good stuff there. And that is my presentation. Please connect with me on Facebook, and my Facebook is Nicole Munoz Fan. And grab that down really quick, or take a screenshot, because I'm going to take you to the next slide to show you the where you can download this presentation. This is going to be actually at startrankingnow.com/cadence9. So if you go there, you're going to be able to get the PDF copy of this presentation.
Great. Yes, and I'm seeing some questions. I've got a what is the cost from Ben that I want to make sure we address. And Ben, you got to clarify for us if you mean for Cadence 9 or an idea of content marketing strategies, planning, and all of that. But in the meantime, too, please, now would be if you have questions that, based on anything you've seen or heard that you want answered as well, and we'll wait for Ben to clarify and be able to answer him. I can tell you generally for Cadence 9 that we're really basing Cadence 9 use on a yearly subscription. Our platform is sort of, not sort of, it's really based around teams of marketing professionals working with some bigger brands that, it's kind of a sit-between kind of solution for people that maybe have a PR agency that's doing some things for them, but they'd like to dig deeper into the organization, like we were talking about, tapping experts within their own environment, customer service reps, salespeople. So you have the ability in Cadence 9 to engage people in your organization to author really rich content without just giving them full access to these publishing channels. And so it's more of an enterprise content management. It's not necessarily for the one person managing social media, but big publishing and publishing with partners and promoting partners is definitely in Cadence 9's area of expertise.
Yeah, Cadence 9 is definitely enterprise level software for larger size, medium to large size business. So if that's a fit for you, definitely consider them. And then, of course, Start Ranking Now, we help anywhere from small business to enterprise level companies to implement their and develop their marketing strategies. So the best way to find out the way it costs is to just go to either contact Jennifer through cadence9.com, or contact me also through startrankingnow.com, and we can help you out with getting you a quote for what's best for you.
Right, and as you and I have talked, Nicole, we're really looking forward to having you help facilitate things for your small business clients with a single Cadence 9 account that you would be able to manage for them. So that's
yeah, exactly.
very,
Right. So we're looking at developing something like that also, so that you can get the benefits of Cadence 9 through Start Ranking Now.
Well, I think that's pretty much what we had planned in. We're not getting a whole lot more questions, so you must have done a very good job, and we went through it as you did your presentation, I know. So I definitely want to thank you, Nicole, and for everybody that's on the call and participated this morning. And would definitely, we'll follow up with all of our contact information for both of us. And great that you're making the slides available. I appreciate that too. And that's that's pretty much it for us today then.
All right. Well, thank you for everyone, and we will see you the next time. Have a great day.
Thanks, Nicole. Bye-bye.